Hello, my name is Priscilla Maddox, and I am presenting you a short video on the proposal for the Architectural and Engineering Services for the San Bernardino Transit Center Omnitrans Bus Facility. The San Bernardino County Transportation Authority is requesting for Proposal 12077. The San Bernardino Associated Governments, which is also known as SANBAG, is acting as the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority. SANBAG is soliciting proposals from qualified firms to assist the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority with the design and construction of a 22-bay Omnitrans bus facility, which is part of the San Bernardino Transit Center located at the southwest quadrant of Rialto Avenue and East Street in downtown San Bernardino. The San Bernardino County Transportation Authority is searching for a consultant who will provide all necessary services to meet the design elements below, including but not limited to building plans, engineering plans for precise grading depicting the bus roadway, sidewalks and other hardscape surfaces, planters and utilities, and landscape and irrigation. This is a federal aid project. The contract to be awarded is financed in part by the U.S. Department of Transportation. Proposers are required to certify that they meet all federal requirements identified in this RFP, including but not limited to all applicable equal opportunity laws and regulations and state or federal prevailing wages. This is a time and materials contract with a not to exceed amount, and fixed hourly rates will be issued for the project. Any services provided by the consultant which are not specifically covered by the contract will not be reimbursed. Some state and federal requirements of this project that the firm must abide by are the U.S. Department of Transportation. The mission of the department is to serve the United States by ensuring a fast, safe, efficient, accessible, and convenient transportation system that meets our vital national interests and enhances the quality of life of the American people today and into the future. This is an overall requirement because the whole project is based on transportation. Another requirement that the firm is to be in clearance with is the compliance with NEPA at the federal level and the CEQA at the state level. The National Environmental Policy Act requires federal agencies to integrate environmental values into their decision-making processes by considering the environmental impacts of their proposed actions and reasonable alternatives to those actions. This is important because while the whole construction of the project is in progress, there will be some environmental factors that will affect the environment and the people. So the consulting firm has to make sure that they meet these requirements in order to proceed. Since the firm has to comply with NEPA at the federal level, it must comply at the state level also. The California Environmental Quality Act is a California statute passed in 1970, shortly after the United States federal government passed the National Environmental Policy Act to institute a statewide policy of environmental protection. There are many key dates that are important for this proposal. The first is the request for proposal date, which is September 7, 2011. There is a pre-proposal conference date that is scheduled on September 12, 2011 at 11 a.m. This is a non-mandatory meeting. It is going to be held at the authority's office located at 1170 West 3rd Street, the second floor in San Bernardino, California. The meeting will be held in the Super Chief Conference Room. The next key date for the proposal is the question submittal deadline. All questions related to the RFP must be put in writing and submitted to authority no later than 4 p.m. on September 19, 2011. All questions must be clearly labeled written questions for RFP 12077 and submitted electronically to Kathleen Murphy Perez, Contracts Manager, at her personal email. Another important date for the RFP is September 29, 2011. This date is when all proposals are to be submitted. The County of San Bernardino Transportation Authority will be accepting proposals until 2 p.m. Consultants are required to provide one original and 8 copies to mail to Mitch Alderman, the Director of Transit and Rail Programs at Sandbag's offices. All proposals are to be submitted in a sealed package clearly marked with the RFP number and title and clearly marked with the company's name and address. Proposals received after the 2 p.m. deadline will be rejected and returned to the firm unopened. Another key date is the interview date. Upon review of proposals, a short list of firms will be invited to an interview tentatively scheduled for the week of October 10, 2011 at Sandbag's office, located at 1170 West 3rd Street, San Bernardino, California. On November 2nd, the Board of Directors approves one of the consulting firms to complete the task at hand. After their selection comes the notice to proceed on November 3, 2011. The selection process for the right consultant is broken down by the criteria that must be met. The primary objective of authority is to select a qualified firm to perform services identified for authority at a fair and reasonable cost. The authority has established the following criteria for the selection process. The selection process shall be fair, open, and competitive. The selection of the consultant firm will be based on clearly stated objectives identified in this RFP. The selection of consultants shall be based upon demonstrated competence, professional qualifications, experience, and capabilities to perform the required services identified in the scope of services. Upon review of the proposals, the firm will be invited to an interview held on the week of October 10, 2011. The contract will be awarded to the most technically qualified, responsible, and responsive firm best conforming to the RFP and is, in the opinion of authority, most advantageous to authority. The authority has the right to reject any and all proposals. At the conclusion of the evaluation committee will recommend to authority's board of directors the firm who ranked the highest in overall score. The consultant's proposal will be evaluated based on the criteria identified in the RFP. The indemnity is set up to where the consultant agrees to services falling within the scope of Civil Code Section 2782.8. The consultant agrees to indemnify, defend, and hold harmless the authority and the authorized officers, employees, agents, and volunteers from any and all claims, actions, losses, damages, and or liability arising out of this contract from any cause whatsoever. Without any affecting the indemnity provision identified in this contract, the consultant shall, at their own expense and prior to the commencement of any work, procure and maintain in full force insurance through the entire term of this contract. The policy shall be written by a California admitted carrier with a best rating of AVII or better, and shall be written with at least the following limits of liability. Professional liability shall be provided in the amount no less than $1 million per claim and $2 million in the aggregate. Workers' compensation insurance shall be provided in an amount and form to meet all applicable requirements of the Labor Code of the State of California, including employer's liability with $1 million per occurrence covering all persons providing services on behalf of consultant and all risks to such persons under this contract. Commercial liability is to include coverage for premises and operations, contractual liability, personal injury liability, in the amount of no less than $1 million per occurrence combined single limit and $2 million in the aggregate written on the occurrence form. Railroad protective liability is covering the activity services performed by the consultant for the project within 50 feet vertically and horizontally of railroad tracks. I think that the company should compete for this project. Sandbag is giving the consultant authority to provide all services, including but not limited to architect, landscape, architecture, civil, mechanical, electrical, structural, geotechnical, and traffic engineering. This is a great opportunity for our company to get our name out there for being an advantageous firm. The authority allows the consulting firm to approach the project in any way they would like to build. The authority gives the firm the opportunity to select the cost of the whole project at the beginning, which allows for negotiating to receive more funds. Firms are encouraged to subcontract with small and disadvantaged businesses to meet maximum extent possible. I think this is great because it allows the firm to work with small businesses to create networking relationships, and to build the city of San Bernardino to a better place. So there is my opinion of the RFP. Thank you and have a great day.